charge. Okay.
And captions are on?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, and welcome to this CSTA virtual poster session. Can you see like a computer? In this video, we're going to show you an unplugged game that introduces AI and computer vision. I am mdeutsch, and I'm from Digital Moment, a Canadian digital education charity. I'm here representing the team that developed the game you're about to see.
And I'm Corey Rogers from Grant Wood Area Education Agency in Southeast Iowa, and I'm here representing the folks who've been playing the game.
Yay. So this is the AI card game. We're looking here at an overhead shot of the deck of cards spread out on a table, separated out into categories, and we'll get into the details shortly. Our team, Digital Moment, we were called Kids Code Jeunesse at the time. We created this game when we first started teaching AI in 2019. So looking back now, that feels like the early days of teaching AI in K-12. And back then we were using tools like Teachable Machine and machine learning for kids. But we found it hard to really cement some of the concepts that we wanted to teach. And we thought it would be helpful to have an unplugged activity as a kind of conceptual on-ramp. So unfortunately, we didn't see one at the time that met our needs, and so we created one. It got a very good reception from teachers and students, but we shelved it during the pandemic because we weren't teaching face-to-face. So that's one reason why we're really happy to bring it back here and share it with you today. So what makes this card game great? In our opinion, well, first of all, it's a card game. It's super fun. And like a lot of other unplugged activities, it's easy to understand. Everyone can play, and it's completely unintimidating, especially for adults who tend to find it difficult to get started with technical things. Also, particularly for teachers, really importantly, it requires zero AI expertise or content knowledge, and there's almost no training required, no specialized PD or anything like that. In fact, a few minutes of watching this video, you'll be ready to facilitate. And lastly, in our experience, playing this game really does get to the AI concepts and core content areas that we want to talk about as teachers. So in this presentation that follows, you'll see the card game itself and how it works. We'll share some tips and tricks that we've learned from using it in classrooms. We'll connect the card game to some big ideas of AI and to the CSTA standards. And as a bonus, if you stick around till the end, you'll learn more and you'll find out how you can get your own deck. So we hope you'll stay with us. Here's the game. The essence of the AI card game is recognizing, or you might say classifying or predicting, a real-life object the way that an AI vision system does, which is using only its visual features. So as shown in the photo here, the deck contains a variety of objects from daily life and some of the visual features of those objects, different colors, sizes, shapes, and textures. And you and your astute students will notice it's produced in Canada, which means it's produced in two languages, English and French. Whoa, that's going to throw some people. And there's some Canadian content in there that may make you laugh or may confuse you. We'll see. So here's how to play. We start with students in groups of 5. That seems to be a number that works. Corey will talk more about that. And we start with the cards facing down on the table, separated out by category. One or more players get to act as the humans. They're the ones who set up an object that's to be recognized. And the other players are an AI vision system. They're the ones who will do the recognizing. The humans choose an object from the deck and they keep it a secret. And then they choose and reveal the color, size, shape, and texture cards that they think will help the AI players recognize this object. So the AI players have to think back on all of the objects that they've gathered data about in their lives, quote unquote, and then they guess the mystery object that has the features that they're being shown. In the example we have here, the AI was recognizing a dollar coin, a Canadian loonie. Like I said, there you go. It's gold, it's smooth and hard, and it is a small circle. So that's all there is to the game. Playing around takes just a few minutes, and we have some guidelines to keep in mind that you'll see in a moment. I just want to add there are objects in the deck that are very simple and some that are more complex. So there's a variety that you can choose from. And we've played the game with lots of different groups from elementary to college and teachers and professors and even AI professionals. So in our experience, there's good discussion each and every time. And then after we play a few rounds of the game, our learners are really ready to think and talk about AI concepts more explicitly. So that's my opening spiel. Corey, you take it away. Tips and tricks from the classroom.
So I've had the pleasure since October of 2022 of playing this game with K-5 classrooms in school libraries, at a 7th and 8th grade girls in STEM event, and with lots of different teacher groups, whether they're script team meetings or even with school counselors in Southeast Iowa. So what I have found to be most successful is modeling. So the first thing I do is stand in front of a class and ask 4 student volunteers to join me. Each student volunteer gets one of those categories for their deck, and then we model as a large group how to play. I like starting with a basketball, and so I play as AI to start. I hold up the card for the group to see, and then ask each of the students to pull out the appropriate cards to help guess. We also model transitions. So we model that each student's going to pass whichever deck they had to the right, so that students all get to take a turn, and whoever is holding the object deck is the AI. What I have found is that's what students really care about. They all want a chance to be the AI. As Mike kind of alluded to, oftentimes when I'm in classrooms, student desks are in groups of 4 or tables of 4. And so the workaround that has worked best is to put texture and size together, because those are smaller decks and easier for students to manage. And then what we often do is ask whoever is the AI in the round to either go to the corner or go to the board away from their group, so that they can't overhear things. And then we always encourage the group to talk quietly so they're not overheard, which can also help with the level of noise in your classroom if that's something you're very concerned about.
I can imagine it being a very high energy in some classes. Yeah.
It's great. Kids love it. So it gets a little bit loud. The next thing that has come up is that whoever is the AI is guessing really from the world of things, that data that they know that Mike mentioned. So they rarely get it in one guess, and it leads to lots of guessing and discussing, but sometimes kids get stuck. And so when they do get stuck, what I've seen is young learners especially will just start to guess random things. And so some of these question stems you see on the screen are ones that a 4th grade classroom helped me to brainstorm. So we talked about starting with big questions that then help us to narrow it down to get to the object. Other things that help AI when they're stuck is encouraging them to verbalize their thinking, asking them to reread those category cards. So, oh, if it's a basketball, all right, let me go back. I've got an orange and black, it's a circle, it's rubbery. It helps them to get back on track. And finally, asking them to repeat what they already know. What are the questions they've gotten a yes or no response to, so that they can again start to narrow it down to that object. If you only have one deck or you have young learners, no problem. So you can play as a large class. In fact, a teacher librarian that I worked with wanted to do this with kindergarten and first. We didn't think they could handle those small groups on their own. So instead of putting students into groups of 4, we actually gave groups of students that category deck. The teacher was the AI and had a student join her with a name picker. So you can use this in whatever your classroom is formatted at or whatever supplies you have. And then just some other pro tips, things that I've learned is that your learners, of course, so adjust the deck. So with those young learners, we pulled out transparent, we removed some objects and just left those common objects we thought young learners would know. And then probably my favorite thing is, as you're watching groups of students play this, it gives you an awesome opportunity to introduce or reinforce computer science vocabulary. So the example to the right is students guessing what was, spoiler alert, a fire truck, and their AI wasn't getting it. And so what they did was further decompose that object. So they pulled apart the top part of the fire truck and then the wheels. And so it gave me an opportunity to talk about what you're doing is decomposition. It's really important for computer scientists to do this. And then we thought it might be really nice for you to see a video of a group of students getting it. I don't hear the sound, Mike.
No.
Did you click that box at the bottom left? You might have to take you're gonna have to edit probably.
That's fine.
If you close your screen.
Yep.
What? Oh,
I just did a reshare.
okay. Oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh, how did you do that?
Okay. Replay, yeah?
Want me to reintroduce it?
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, we thought it might be really nice for you to see a group of students getting the object.
Here's our AI.
Oh, how did you do that?
It's green, it's yellow, it's spiky, it's scaly, it's medium.
Oh, it's a pineapple. She got it the first try.
But you can tell from the surprise in my voice that's not common.
Okay, so we've used the game to lead into lots of other AI resources that you're probably familiar with. You'll see them here. In particular, we know that the Teachable Machine and Quick Draw, students are much more thoughtful and productive at understanding how they work after they've played a few rounds of the game. So let's talk about the big ideas and standards that this connects to. We know this is not literally how AI works, but these are some of the big ideas we've been able to explore coming out of the game. So AI recognizes concrete, specific properties or features. It doesn't understand objects holistically the way we do. Secondly, that recognition is based on patterns that the AI has learned. And that begins with data, being exposed to lots of samples of the things that it is recognizing. Third, AI gets better at recognizing things when it has better training. This is interesting. In the play with your learners, have the participants had enough training data in their life to identify some of these objects from memory just by considering the features abstractly? And lastly, some features, yeah.
I was just going to say, I can also share that I have played this game a lot and I can guess them very quickly because I've had lots of data. So the more kids play, the better they get at guessing those items.
Well, you have more data from playing the game, but also you and I are old, Corey.
That is true too.
And lastly, some features are more quote unquote important to recognizing something. This is a classic idea in AI that some features will get weighted more heavily. In the case of a basketball, the rubberiness and the orangeness are really important, less that it's medium sized, etc. If you're looking to connect this game to the CSTA standards, we recommend the practices around collaboration and abstraction. Those are really at the forefront. And it also activates some of the concepts that you'll find under data and analysis. So we're almost at the end. Here's where you learn more and get your own deck. First things first, the deck itself is Creative Commons licensed. So we, Digital Moment, make the PDF downloadable available for free for you to print on your own. And you can always contact me or Corey to know more. I'm just going to page through some information about my organization and Corey's. You can pause and watch these. Here are some services you can sign up for with Kids Co Jeunesse by Digital Moment. And here we are at the end. If you come to kcj.org, that's short for Kids Co Jeunesse, you'll notice an educators banner at the top. Follow that to the resources page and then the section on AI and algorithms, and you'll see the downloadable PDF. If you're interested in talking to us now at CSTA, you can email either of us with our email addresses there, or drop us a note in the Hop-in chat or a DM. And we'll put you on our mailing list for when we relaunch the deck in the fall of 2023. We're going to expand the objects, and make it even better than it already is. So we'd love to talk to you and answer any questions you have.
And have
That's all
fun
for us.
playing.
What's that?
And have fun playing the game.
Really do. Thanks so much for watching. We hope we talk to you soon.
Do you want me to stop it or do you want to keep going?
Yeah, that's good. Now we're at 15 minutes.